Bullshit! Do you know about the first and only all-black ranger company? Well, take a seat, get comfortable, because I'm about to tell you the story of the Buffalo Rangers. Before the Ranger Creed existed, even before the Ranger Charter was ever even thought of, there existed Rangers. They volunteered for the most dangerous missions, stood up any time that the country called on them. I mean, some say they the originators of sliding on the ops. In order to tell the story, we have to go way back. I'm talking way back to 1950. And what war was going on in 1950? You guessed it right, the Korean War. On June 25th, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea, which kicked off the Korean War. After rigorous training at Fort Benning, Georgia in December of 1950, the second of four newly created Ranger Infantry companies boarded a train to San Francisco en route to war. And it was on this train that they adopted the name Buffalo after a city-born ranger's misidentification of longhorn steers as buffalo. They were dark-skinned, they had curly hair, but not only that, think of the characteristics of a buffalo. They were tough and always willing to fight, which is a quote from Major Brian Davis, who was a ranger with the 75th Regiment's Military Intelligence Battalion. December 29th, 1950, the Buffalo Rangers enter into the fight, joining the 32nd Infantry Regiment's defense line near Tanyang, and it was here where they lived up to their name. While facing frostbite, being vastly unequipped, even taking combat losses, the Buffalo Rangers still pressed forward with so much fury and uncompromising determination, and they refused to be defeated by any challenge. Sergeant First Class Jeremiah Moore, an operations NCO with the 75th Regiment, said this. He believed the Rangers carried the idea that I will not quit. Period. I'm not going to quit. That's not us. That's not in our DNA. That's not our culture. That's not the type of cloth we're cut from. It does not matter. He went on to say, they just could have laid down and quit. They could have just said, my feet are bleeding, I'm frostbit, we don't know when resupply is coming, we don't have no cold weather gear, let's just give up. But they didn't. But the pinnacle of their valor came during Operation Tomahawk. The objective was simple, to parachute in and seize an area deep in enemy territory near Monsignor. But difficulty and danger aside, they jumped into battle, into history, becoming the first Rangers ever to jump into combat. Tomahawk saw 2nd Ranger Company as lead element with 187th Regimental Combat Team, also known as Rocketsons, behind them, with 4th Rangers in trail that day as they went into Mussolini. Timothy McCoy, a historian for the 2nd Ranger Company, said that one of the Buffalo Rangers was a maniac during Operation Tomahawk. And that Buffalo Ranger he's speaking of is 1st Sergeant Lawrence West. Timothy McCoy said, upon landing on the ground, 1st Sergeant West went hunting for the enemies all by himself until the team reassembled. What I told you earlier, sliding on the ops. But these Rangers' commitment to duty and their fellow soldiers during the battles in Korea reflects a legacy befitting of the Ranger name and lineage. Lieutenant Colonel Ross Daly, the 75th Ranger Regiment's operation officer, said that they were the original Airborne Rangers. Following Operation Tomahawk, 2nd Rangers linked up with 1st Cavalry Division and provided security for Task Force Grodin. With tough terrain and heavy resistance, they still exemplified an audacious assault on Hill 581. Hill 581 was a pivotal battleground of the Korean War, and the 2nd Rangers in spring of 1951 were tasked with securing the strategic vantage point that was overlooking the Korean landscape. Without any support from a heavy weapons company or a forward observer, the Rangers split into 2 platoons, a motor squad, and a command section. The Chinese met them with heavy, intense fire, but the Rangers maneuvered through the tough terrain. They showed exceptional skill and tactical prowess. They fought really hard and held their ground until the company eventually ran low on ammunition and grenades and had to withdraw from the hilltop. A ranger with 2nd Ranger Company, Jim Queen, was like, hold up, didn't we bury some ammunition on that hilltop 2 weeks ago? Man, let's rearm up. And they went back and took the hilltop. The capture of Hill 581 demonstrated the indomitable spirit of the 2nd Ranger Company, which laid the foundation to what became the Rangers Creed. Now you know about the first and only all-black Ranger Company, the Buffalo Rangers. It would behoove you to hit that follow button. Huh? Laundry dropping.